And while Prime Minister Narendra Modi has led India's education reforms from the front with special focus on women literacy rate and educating the girl child. From Gujarat to Delhi, Republic gets you a report on how Prime Minister Modi has revolutionized education in India as he completes 20 years in public office.
युवा मन जिस दिशा में भी सोचना चाहे, खुले आकाश में जैसे उड़ना चाहे, देश की नई शिक्षा व्यवस्था उसे वैसे ही अवसर उपलब्ध कराएगी.
It is one example of doggedness of Narendra Modi model of governance. The Kanya Kilavani Girl Child Upbringing Scheme for Girl Child Education and Shala Praveshotsav School Enrollment Drive in Gujarat, which increased enrollment of girls in schools across the state, brought down dropout rates to almost zero, and increased overall women's literacy by 13% over a decade since its launch in 2003. Prime Minister Modi launched it in his first year of governance and then pursued it through his entire tenure as Gujarat Chief Minister, showing his personal commitment to the upliftment of women in society. Another proof of his personal commitment was that every year he would auction all the gifts he would receive as Chief Minister and transfer the money raised to the Girl Child Education Fund. For school enrollment for 3 days in the peak of summer in the month of June, led by Narendra Modi, his entire government, ministers, secretaries, top cops, MPs and MLAs would leave their air-conditioned offices and fan out across the state and cover villages, visit homes of the poor to get their children enrolled and evaluate learning standards. This commitment to education got amplified as Modi became Prime Minister. The Kanya Kilavani of Gujarat morphed into Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which was a combined project to save the girl child from female feticide and then to get her to school. The results are already visible. The national girl enrollment ratio has increased from 39% in 2015 to 52% in 2020.
एक चुनौती भरा विषय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने प्रशासन में राष्ट्र को समर्पित किया, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ का. प्रधानमंत्री जी ने महिला संरक्षण और बेटियों के उत्थान का विषय मात्र एक विभाग तक सीमित नहीं रखा है. चाहे वो स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय हो या खेल मंत्रालय, हर मंत्रालय में महिलाओं के लिए एक अलग भूमिका, महिलाओं के लिए अलग स्कीम्स और महिलाओं के लिए अलग प्रयास सम्मिलित हैं.
Prime Minister Modi then focused on education infrastructure across the country. At the level of schools, increasing libraries by 25%, increasing girl toilets from 89% to 97%. The government established 8,700 Atal tinkering labs to foster spirit of innovation in schools. All this increase in infrastructure has meant healthier student-teacher ratio, improving it in higher secondary schools from 39 per teacher to 26 per teacher, thus improving effectiveness of pedagogy. Parallelly, the Modi government has made sure that India retains its cutting edge in higher education. Highest growth in higher education institutions has been recorded since independence. For example, his government has established one new university every week since 2014 when they stood at 723 to 1043 now. 2 colleges per day, which increased from 36,634 in 2014 to 42,343 now. IITs increased from 16 to 23. IIMs went up from 30 to 20 between 2014 to 2020. National Institutes of Design have become 4 from 1. And there are 14 Indian Institutes of Information Technology in the country now. With a special focus on the Northeast, the region now has 22 new universities, with one central university coming up in the Union Territory of Ladakh, fulfilling a long-pending demand of the remote region. In the field of medical education, there are 22 AIIMS now in the country, and medical seats have increased by 53% at MBBS level from 54,000 in 2014 to 83,000 in 2020. while the post-graduation seats in medicine have increased by a whopping 80% from 30,000 to 54,000, thus making issues like reservation of seats redundant. The latest addition to the ongoing reforms has been the launch of the National Education Policy 2020. That the NEP 2020 is getting praised from all quarters for not having any biases is proof Prime Minister Modi has invested a long-term vision in it. Under the new policy, the focus is on multidisciplinary approach where students can choose from 3 or 4 subjects at the undergraduate level, for example, or by allowing top-ranked foreign universities to set up campuses in India. Or for that matter, instruction in mother tongue, including first year of engineering courses, are some of the innovations. NEP 2020 success can be gauged from the fact that there were no major protests, no charges of any regional or other bias. Prime Minister Modi has shown that he brings intent to pull all stops to make India's human resource compete with the best in the world. Bureau Report, Republic TV.